Hello everyone, this is Gayle, and today you will see I've got all kinds of funny looking things here. But these are some canes that I have made, and I was looking through some books the other day and I came across buttons, and I thought, I don't think I have ever shown them how to make buttons. So that's what we're going to do today. I got to thinking with the quilting series that I'm doing, and then also with the, remember the faux knitting that I showed you? That those would be perfect things to use if you're going to give a gift. You could give a gift of a button. Now, not all of these are going to work, but I thought I would just take some of my clay. I think I'll take the, remember the fish? We did the fish. I'm going to take this. I had this for sale, but nobody wanted it, so I guess I'll use it instead. But I do have another one. If you decide you want it, just let me know. Now, you can do a couple of things. You can cut, and I would cut it fairly thick, and just use that as your button. You can just take your needle tool and poke 2 holes in it to make an oblong button. But I think because of the black and white, it would be really nice if we did an outline in black and white to kind of go with the black and white of the fish. So I was a friend of mine, a clay buddy of mine, contacted me the other day and asked if I had done a video on how to put a black and white line trim around a cane, and I thought, I don't think I have. So I'm going to take this opportunity to do that. But I'm going to need some black and some white. Of course, these are all from previous tutorials, and I'm going to roll these out. I'm going to recondition them and roll them out into a sheet that's the thickest setting of my pasta machine, and then I'll be right back. Okay, excuse me, I've rolled out some white and some black clay, and since the white is the smallest amount, I'm going to use that as my base. I didn't cut that very straight, so let me straighten it out here so I can have the other side straight anyway. Try to keep these as much of the same size as I can. Let me see. I'm probably going to make more of this than I really need to, just to use up this black and white. So this is 1, 2 3/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut the black to be the same size. I believe I've shown you before how to make a striped cane. So that's how we're going to start out, with a striped cane. So if you've already made one, you don't need to make another one. 1, 2, 3. How long did I say this was? Let me lay this down. want to cut it there. And I want to cut it here. See, even a toothpick can help you measure. And I will cut this on this line. And that should give me two pieces that are pretty much the same size. So I'm going to lay the white on top. Trying to roll this down evenly, keeping the edges as close together as I can. Of course, I'll trim everything at the end. But you see here now we have the two stripes. And I'm going to cut this in half. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 is going to be 1, 2, and just half of that. So I'm going to put the white and the black together here. Make sure all your air is out. And I don't know why the black doesn't look as thick as the white. Maybe it's an optical illusion because they're both rolled to the same on the same setting. Now you can stop here, or since I don't need a piece but so big, I'm going to cut here. And stack this. So now you can see I've got a stack of black and white. Now you don't have to do this many layers. You can do half this many if you want to leave it bigger. But let me go ahead and trim my ends. Just to make it even on all four sides. Excuse me. I really would love to get rid of this cough. And I go to the doctor next week. So you have a choice. You can use this as your outside edge, but I'm thinking maybe that's too thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull this out a little bit. I'm going to make it longer. And I can pull it because it's all just been conditioned. It's just been rolled through the pasta machine, so it's all pretty warm and pretty malleable at this point. But you can also take your roller and roll it. And then give it a tug. Then you can roll it again. I'll roll both long ends and then I'll do the short end. And see, we're making it a little bit skinnier. But I'm thinking maybe we need to go just a little bit more. There's all different ways to reduce a rectangular cane. Now the way I'm doing it will make you lose a little bit of your ends. Because you can see as I'm tugging, most of my pressure is on the outside. I do try to pull in the center if I can, but it doesn't always pull out even. So I'm going to cut this end off. And you can see it's not very even. I need to go over it with my roller. And when I do this, I like to roll that side and then flip it over this way so that this end comes over here, and roll it again, because when you're rolling this, you have a different pressure in the part that's closest to you. Let me roll the sides to make sure it's all square. Then I'll trim that off again since I messed with it. Okay, so there we go. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off the length of my cane. And I think I'll do this as a separate tutorial, and I'll finish the buttons in the next one. So now you need to decide how thick you want your edge. I'm going to try to slice mine fairly thin. And just make some slices, but try to make them even. If you have a hard time getting them even, get you something like the Marks It tool, which is this tool. It's made by Donna Cato, and I imagine there's other people that make them too. But anyway, they've got different little measurements, little grooves, and you can press this into your clay so that you can have even slices. But I think I can do all right on this one. And I'm just going to slice all of it. I don't know that I'll need all of it, but I'd rather have all of it sliced than to need it and then not have it. So that's a little too thick. I'll save that one for last just because it's a little wonky. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, let me make sure that my fish cane is flat. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay this way. Along the length of my cane. And try to keep it as straight as you can. Otherwise, you're going to have crooked stripes. So make sure when you put the second one on that you put the black next to the white. And this just happened to be two of them fit perfectly on my cane. So I'm going to turn it over. Well, no, maybe I better not. So I'm going to start here with the black against the white. And again, you can use your blade to straighten your edge up. And this one, you can see I only need down through the black, and I'm going to cut right where the white meets the black. I'm going to hold on to this because you might need this someplace. And for some reason that slice was longer, so let me even that up. So you can see here we've got the top and one side. So since this ended in the black, I'm going to put the white actually I need that black, a little black stripe. Where's the one I'm not going to use? I need one little black stripe. I cut it off a little bit too short. There we go. And I'm going to take my blade and straighten this black up. And I'll put the next one with the white next to the black. We have a white. That's the one I sliced. So put a white stripe next to the black, and hopefully we can end with a white. Well, I didn't trim that one right either. Nope, it's still not going to work. I'm one stripe off in the width, and I thought I would be because of the way this side went. So I am going to put the black back on here. So we'll just have black corners, except that one. So now you can see there's a little piece of black right there, and I don't know if it's in my, it just came off. So now you can see we've got our fish with the black and white trim around it. Now I could probably have done a much better job on this if I had let my clay rest, but you know me. And I'm going to show you how the marks it works. Now I'm going to use the 5mm marks, and I'm going to lay one right at the edge here, and I'm going to lay it here at the edge also so that they go all the way across. Can you see the marks that are on the clay? There you go. See the marks? So I'm going to follow that, which is a little sliver off here, which is okay because this is their end. So we want this one to be nice and straight anyway. And then from there on, I'm just going to cut on those lines. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good. It did make 6. Most buttons that you buy in a set are in sets of 6. So there's our 6 buttons. This 5mm might be a little bit thick. I'm going to neaten up the sides because cutting them kind of got the sides a little bowed. But these would be a great gift for anybody that sews, especially people that have children, if they like putting little animals or whatever on as buttons. But I will tell you now, I'm going to use canes that I have made. Excuse me. I'm going to use canes that I've already made. So if you don't have these canes, they were made on my tutorials. Go back and look at the tutorial. So these are just a little over an inch. They're not, yeah, they're about 1 1/4 inches. And actually, rather than use my needle tool, I think I'm going to use, I don't know, I'll use my toothpick. And find the center, which is about here. And I'm going to come over here a little bit and make a circle. And then come over here and make a circle. Then you can, if you have a thicker thing like my little skewer here, I'm going to go through the back side and just make the hole a little bit bigger. Because, and you can do it on the front too if you want, just to make sure it has a good finish. But there is a darling button for any little girl's dress or their coat. But that's how you make a button out of polymer clay. And this is going to be the first button. And I will do a couple more buttons. I may even do some more with the stripe since I've got some stripe left. I'll add some stripe to some. But this is going to be a set of 6 polymer clay fish buttons. So I hope you like that. Excuse me. I've got so many things right now that I want to do. Remember a couple weeks ago I said I was running out of ideas and I needed some help? Well, now my head is full of ideas. And I don't know how I'm going to get all of them in. So I'm going to finish making the holes in my buttons, and then I'm going to put these on a card or something after I bake them. I'm going to bake them for an hour. Being a button, you want them to be nice and strong. But in the future, I think I would go a little bit thinner. This is 5mm, which is almost 1/4 inch, and I feel like that's just a little bit too thick. But, you know, if it's on a coat or something, a sweater, where there's, you know, where it's got some bulk to it, they probably would be fine. But I think the next ones I do will be a little bit smaller. But there we go. There are some polymer clay buttons. polymer clay fish buttons. So let's make some buttons. So I'll be back soon with some more buttons. Bye-bye.